Hello and welcome to Thing of the Month. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of Barts Health Archives and Museums to reveal highlights from our collections. One of the most unusual and fragile items in our collections is this paper house, together with various words written on slips of paper. This is a game designed by Maisie Holt, who was the first to treat dyslexic patients at St Bartholomew's Hospital and was instrumental in raising awareness of the condition. Lucy May Holt, always known as Maisie, was born on the Isle of Man in 1900. She studied neurology at University College London and visual perception at the University of Cambridge. She became a teacher and a lecturer and worked in educational and medical psychology. In 1949, Holt was appointed medical psychologist to the Department of Psychological Medicine at St Bartholomew's Hospital, which is where she began her work with dyslexia, or word blindness as the condition was also known. Word blindness was first diagnosed in 1877 by the German physician Adolf Kussmaul. Rudolf Berlin, a German ophthalmologist, coined the word dyslexia, meaning difficulty with words, in 1887, but this term did not come into common usage until the 20th century. It was originally believed that dyslexia was caused by brain injury and disease, until researchers discovered that the condition could be present from birth. Our modern definition of dyslexia is a learning difference affecting the ability to read and spell words fluently and accurately. Characteristic features are difficulty with recognizing the sounds of words and with verbal memory and verbal processing speed. Dyslexia occurs across the range of intellectual abilities, but in the past it was commonly thought that people with the condition were simply unintelligent and that nothing could be done to help them. Maisie Holt's work with dyslexic patients began when E.B. Strauss, the head of the Department of Psychological Medicine at Barts, and Alfred White Franklin, physician to the Children's Department, began referring patients to her. These children exhibited a range of physical, psychological and emotional problems, but they all had one thing in common: dyslexia. Holt developed a technique to find out where the child's difficulties lay and then to build up their learning and confidence through repetitive exercises. She took a multi-sensory approach, focusing on how a word or letter looks and sounds and how it feels to write or say. The house game was part of Holt's technique. The house shown in the photograph is labelled R or AR. The patient's task was to add letters to either side of AR on slips of paper to create words such as dark and farm. They would then post these slips through the letterbox. Finally, the patient would pull out all the slips from the compartment at the back of the house and read the words out loud. Holt would build up word books with her patients during treatment, some of which also survive in our collections. She found that once the child's dyslexia was diagnosed and treated, their other physical, emotional and psychological symptoms often disappeared. On the 12th of April 1962, Holt and colleagues including Alfred White Franklin hosted a conference at St Bartholomew's Hospital Medical College on word blindness or specific developmental dyslexia. The conference attracted 350 delegates from all over the world, including neurologists, paediatricians, psychologists, social workers, teachers and parents. Their conclusion was that word-blind children were not unintelligent, did not have defective sight or hearing or brain damage, but required early diagnosis and treatment and different teaching methods. However, this message was opposed by some who felt their work was being criticised or who did not believe that dyslexia existed. Although it caused some controversy, the conference at Barts marked a turning point in dyslexia research and advocacy. In 1963, the Invalid Children's Aid Association established the Word Blind Centre at Coram's Fields in London, with Maisie Holt on its first committee. In the same year, dyslexia was referred to for the first time in the UK Parliament. Soon afterwards, a word blindness clinic was formally established at Barts under Holt's direction. The clinic soon became overwhelmed with patients requesting treatment, and the waiting list grew to 2 years, with patients travelling from all over the UK and abroad for one 45-minute session per week. Maisie Holt retired in 1970, and the following year her assistant, the speech therapist Beve Hornsby, took over the clinic. Under Hornsby's direction, the Barts Dyslexia Clinic, as it was renamed, grew rapidly, expanding from a small corner of the Department of Psychological Medicine to a department in its own right with an international reputation. Over the years, various centres, pressure groups and parent associations have continued to raise awareness of dyslexia. In 2009, the Independent Rose Review led to a £10 million investment in training dyslexia specialists and an unequivocal definition of the condition. Maisie Holt spent her final years on the Isle of Wight, where she died in 2003 at the age of 103. Holt's work at Barts made an important contribution to the treatment and awareness of dyslexia in the UK and beyond. Even in retirement, she maintained a strong affection for the hospital and was a key supporter in the establishment of St Bartholomew's Hospital Museum, where a display case bears her name. If you are interested in finding out more about dyslexia, we recommend you visit the University of Oxford's History of Dyslexia project website. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We'd like to hear about your favourite item in the collections. You can search our online catalogue via the link below and follow us on Twitter and Instagram to tell us what you find. And while you're here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content.